Right, I think yes. Now first see the first horoscope. Scorpio ascendant, Ketu in the third house. Moon, Mercury and Venus are in the sixth house. Sun in the seventh house. Saturn in the eighth house. Jupiter, Mars and Rahu in the ninth house. Now make a threefold analysis of Rahu here. Number one, Rahu is with Jupiter and Mars. When two malefics have surrounded Jupiter, they have spoiled the good qualities of Jupiter. And it is happening in the ninth house. Ninth house is the house of Bhagya, tradition of this life, punya of this life, spiritual merit of this life. Principle number one, Rahu is in a good company, no doubt. But another planet here with Rahu is Mars, who as Lagna Lord is good in the ninth house, but as the sixth Lord is not good. Right? Rahu is in Karka, Cancer, and the owner of Cancer, Moon, is in the sixth house, dispositor. Right? Then there is an exchange of Moon and Mars in this horoscope.
I don't think so.
Pardon?
I don't think that exchange is very useful.
It is not useful, so therefore what happened? In the dasha of Jupiter, this got maximum aggressive tendency this man developed, fifth lord. Maximum aggressive tendency. You see how Cycle became jealous of everyone, started abusing everyone, started attacking everyone. Of course, has been earning very good money because he is an exalted second lord. He suffered very badly in the Rahu dasha. In the Jupiter dasha, Jupiter, which has been spoiled by Rahu and Mars, and the dispositor of Rahu is in the sixth house, Moon. And Moon and Mars have exchanged places. So you understand the tremendous aggression that is generated.
Which planet would you propitiate to cure?
For
What would you propitiate to cure the problem? The weak Mars?
here, no, the dasha running you have to propitiate, Jupiter. Always you have to propitiate the dasha running, because it is the dasha that is releasing the tendencies. Right? Now, come to this. The maximum money and maximum hostility, maximum jealousy, what you call the spleen, all those negative tendencies started manifesting in the Jupiter dasha of the fifth lord. The fifth lord is important, that is the brain, the thinking. So the thinking got terribly perverted in this period for this person. The moment you look at a horoscope like this, you tell him, all right, in Jupiter dasha you will earn well, you will get good money, but the exceedingly bad hostility that you show towards others, the jealousy that you show towards others, is going to affect you very badly later. When? In the Saturn dasha, because Saturn is in the 8th house aspecting the 5th house. Right? The consequences of acts done in Jupiter dasha will be shown in the dasha of Saturn. So therefore, the counseling you will do is make use of this dasha carefully, don't become arrogant, don't become abusive.
Would you say that because the fifth house is Purva Punya, in his and it's Jupiter, it's all for Jupiter, so in his last life probably he had quite a high position as maybe a judge or a priest, and he had a lot of pride
Yes.
and spiritual pride probably.
Anyway, why we will not talk about last life is, we can bluff each other. You can look at this thing, horoscope, and say you were such and such in last life. You have no way of verifying, and I have no way of verifying. So I will not go into that. That Manak, Jain, and others, they talk about last life. There is no way of knowing that. But here you see the energy concentrated on the fifth lord and the fifth house. Fifth house aspected by Saturn from the eighth house. And the fifth lord Jupiter with Rahu and Mars. In the dasha of Rahu and again in the dasha of Jupiter. It being in the ninth house, this man has abused his gurus, people who have helped him, and also his father in the ninth house.
Rahu did that?
Ninth house did that. Can I have some water? Glass is also there. Give me. I'll take them. Give it to me. Now, Rahu is snake, right? That one simple fact you must remember. So therefore Rahu is poison. In all cases of food poisoning, you will find the role of either the eighth lord or Rahu. I will come to this later. I will go to the other horoscope, the small one you have drawn, 2.
When Rahu is so prolific, why did so many people start meditating in Rahu?
Pardon?
Many meditators start meditating in Rahu.
I am coming to that. I am coming to that.
Okay.
I will cover that. The spiritual side of Rahu, it is covered here in this book. Right? Don't be impatient. Are you passing through Rahu Dasha?
No, I got
Okay. Will you describe your horoscope?
Taurus rising.
Pardon?
Taurus rising.
Taurus. Okay.
Venus in the second.
Uh,
In Gemini. Saturn in Cancer in the third. Mars in Leo in the fourth.
Mars.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Ketu in the Libra in the sixth.
Ketu in the
In the
Sixth. uh,
Jupiter in Sag in the eighth.
mm.
Moon in the ninth.
Moon in the
That's
ninth.
Capricorn, and Rahu, Sun, Mercury in Aries in the 12th.
1848.
Right.
Hmm? Okay. How often have you gone abroad?
Well, for TM, like 3 times.
Right.
4 times.
Right? You do yoga? Hmm?
Postures.
Yoga is both physical, mental. You are doing that? Eh? TM. TM, that's yoga. Okay. TM, that is Mahesh Yogi is this. Okay. That's okay. That is yoga technique. You have a house in a place other than your birthplace, right? Okay. Now continue. Have you been associated with any temple building activity ever? Or any institution? We have built domes or organized these things.
Well, I was here in 70.
Have you gone outside your country for studying something? Right? Okay. Now, if the bare glance of the horoscope shows, when did you have, where is your moon you said?
In the 9th.
In the 9th. How many degrees?
20-ish.
20. Which means you are born in the dasha of the moon, then Mars, then came Rahu, Jupiter, now you are passing through Saturn period. Okay? Right. In the Rahu period, how were your studies? Bad? You spoiled it?
I was very
Right?
out.
And in the Rahu period, you moved in all types of companies. Okay? Why did this happen? Now analyze, you will see why Rahu, but is Rahu did not ruin you still. Did not ruin you because your Rahu is aspected by Jupiter. Right? That one factor alone will make a difference. Rahu is aspected by Jupiter and Rahu is in the company of Mercury and Sun. Right? Okay? Now, like that, you have to analyze. I am coming back to this now. First is see this horoscope. No, not this one. Yes, please see the bottom ones. Bottom. I am giving, you're giving only one or what? Okay, 2 and 3. In this horoscope you see, here you see, Moon and Rahu in the 3rd house aspected by Mars from the 8th house. Right?
So it's aspected by its dispositor.
Pardon?
It's aspected by its dispositor.
It is aspected by its dispositor but from the 8th house. For surgical operation, which is the planet you make use of? Mars. For hurts, Mars. For needle pricks, Mars. Right? Mars in the 8th house aspecting Rahu and Moon in the 6th house. In the 3rd house. Moon is the 6th lord. Right? This person was bitten by a deadly cobra in India and he survived. When you say Rahu represents snakes, is the meaning clear? Now I will pose a question before you. Is there any astronomer in the world who has seen Rahu through a telescope? We make use of Rahu and Ketu, they don't exist anywhere. What are these points? That is how the yogis discovered this. The very fact that Rahu and Ketu can be made use of effectively in astrology shows the greatness of yogis who got all the knowledge from a yogic vision. Rahu Ketu would be meaningless otherwise.
But they're mathematical.
They are mathematical points, but they are not existing in the sky. For calculations, we make use of them in astronomy, but they don't exist anywhere in the sky. Similarly, Mandi doesn't exist, Dhrum doesn't exist, Vyatipat doesn't exist, Indrichap doesn't exist. We make use of them, what are known as Aprakasha Grahas, the non-luminous imaginary points, but you arrive at them through calculation and they give you brilliant results. Right? Therefore, come back to this. Moon and Rahu in the 3rd house aspected by Mars. At one stage in his life, he would have nearly died when he was bitten by a cobra. He was saved. But Rahu is in Aries. That is an important point. What is the importance of Rahu in Aries? That's answered in this book. So he became a famous man, an Indian, in USA. I am not giving the full horoscope, and I will also not disclose his identity. But he became a famous man in USA, has earned in billions, not in millions, in USA. He is an Indian. The same Rahu, pardon? He is not Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra is not Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra has Kumbh ascendant with 4 planets in the 9th house. He has given me his horoscope. He is not Deepak Chopra. That I can tell you. Someone else. Deepak Chopra was born in 1946. This man was born in 1927. Now see the second horoscope. Moon and Rahu in the Lagna. Right? Scorpio ascendant. He is right now passing through the dasha of Rahu and Jupiter. Right now, these days. In 1995, he is passing through this period. He is a very good friend of mine. Very, very high position in Government of India. As soon as the Rahu period started, he developed some complications. Then, as usual, the astrologers gave very frightening prediction. I said, don't worry, you are a good man. He had some ailment and doctors was not. I asked his wife to do a particular worship. She did it. He was cured. He returned. That was nearly 2-3 years ago. In June, July, I was here in USA. When I returned to India, I came to know he was in the hospital and was paralyzed in Rahu Jupiter. Again, I said he would be cured. Normally, after you have a case like this, it's not easy to predict. It's not safe also to predict. But Jupiter is aspecting the 10th house both from the Lagna and the Moon. This man has done a lot of good deeds for people. As a result of, because Jupiter's aspect on the 10th house from the Lagna, the Moon shows a religious spiritual personality. As a result of it, the punya, that is this good work he has done, he got the blessings of people. I said, nothing will happen, he will be alright. He has been totally cured. But the most important thing I have to tell you now is, he lives in a huge big house in Delhi on a ground floor with vast big gardens. The month of June, July, August, September are the rainy season in India. I think in USA also. No? I don't know. Rainy season in India, that is known as monsoon. In the rainy season, what happens is water begins to enter all holes available, including the holes of snakes. So snakes have to run out of their holes. He is living in a house surrounded by lots of beautiful trees, shrubs, bush, so many things. And snakes crawl into his house every day. A serious problem. It is happening in the Rahu Dasha. Rahu is snake. So you have to understand that. Rahu is snake.
If you live in a country like the United States where snakes are not very prevalent.
Very good. Drug addiction.
I see.
Yes. That is also poison. Then the side effects of a strong antibiotic, right? That is where you have to modernize astrology.
And is this guy tall because he's got Rahu in his ascendant?
Pardon?
Is he tall because he has Rahu in his ascendant?
Yes.
Even though Rahu is debilitated?
Rahu is in the ascendant and he is more than an average Indian height. When you say tall, don't judge it by American standards.
So if you see a person and they show you a chart and you have Rahu in his ascendant and they're short, you might begin to suspect that that chart's not right.
Yes. There will be many other methods, but that is one of the at a glance method. Okay, you were asking something?
When you have Rahu with the moon, then it's quite normal when the mind is disturbed.
It can. But Jupiter is aspecting the 10th house and protecting from the ascendant. So, I have shown you that. Now come back. To case number 3. Here you find, now I will go slightly deeper for your understanding. Rahu is in the 5th house. Normally it would be good because he is in a Trikona, Kendra Trikona.
It looks to me like it's in the 6th.
This one,
Oh, you're looking, I'm looking at the wrong chart. I'm sorry.
Okay. No wonder. Okay, thanks. Sorry. I'm trying to look at the wrong.
right?
I looked at the third one.
Okay, right? Rahu is in the 5th house. Good.
Aspected by Jupiter.
Aspected by Jupiter. Good. Aspected by Mars. No. The dispositor of Rahu is Saturn, retrograde in the 4th house. And the 5th lord, of course, is also Saturn. Aspected by Moon, that makes you sensitive. Right? Rahu in the 5th house, aspected by Jupiter, who for Libra ascendant is also the 6th lord of aggression. Now go back to the earlier horoscope. Rahu is with the 5th lord and the 6th lord, right? And there is an exchange between the 6th and the 9th lords. Now come to this horoscope. Rahu is in the 5th house, aspected by the 6th lord, right? And the 5th lord is retrograde in the 4th house, is being aspected by the moon. Moon represents the mind. The mind is being touched by Saturn, the 5th lord. And a retrograde 5th lord. A retrograde planet becomes another Rahu in your horoscope now. A retrograde planet develops the tendencies of Rahu, any retrograde planet will be erratic in its behavior. Retrograde, right? Any planet retrograde will be unpredictable in its results. It will give you unexpectedly good results and unexpectedly bad results. Now here you have Rahu in the 5th house. The Lord of the 5th house is retrograde in the 4th house and is being aspected by Moon and also Mercury. Is it Mercury or not? Mercury. Mercury, yes.
Retrograde giving unpredictable results. Is that because it's more like free will than
Pardon?
Is there more free will involved with retrograde as opposed to?
No, instead of saying free will, the motion has not become direct. So it is not behaving in a very direct way. That's all. Now the 9th Lord, Mercury, with the 10th Lord in the 10th house is a good Raj Yoga. 9th and 10th Lord. Saturn, the 5th Lord, aspecting the 9th Lord in the 10th house is again good. 5th and 9th. Has given to his mind some peculiar perversions with timidity. Timid, perversions. So he doesn't do any harm to anyone. Because he is a very timid man. But he will never praise you for any good work you do. Never. This man is incapable of praising anyone in the world. The negative, timid tendency, the pusillanimity, the timidity manifests in such a way in this case. He is very sensitive. He can't see anyone's rise in life. Tremendously jealous. So that is how the brain poisoning starts now. Right? In the first case you are seeing brain poisoning, and in the 9th house, in the second case you are seeing brain poisoning involving 5, 4 and 10. So that hostility begins to manifest in this manner. Now go to the third horoscope. Why I am telling you is in USA, most of the astrologers talk about psychology. And say we do psychological reading. I say, how can you do psychological reading unless you see the dasha scheme and you see the planets, their dispositors, the aspects and all this. Now see, I am giving a third instance now. This man is an Indian. He and his entire family, I drove out of India through my astrological predictions they are in USA. Literally, I drove them out of India. Now I will analyze the horoscope and show to you. Oh God. I think I should put it like this, okay? No distractions. You will see only this horoscope now. Who is the 5th lord of this horoscope? Venus. Where is he? And Rahu, Ketu and Mars are again grappling, capturing it. In all the three horoscopes you are seeing how Rahu is influencing the 5th house or the 5th lord. Right? Now here it is the 5th lord in the 12th with Mars, with Rahu, with Ketu and in the Rahu Ketu axis. Additionally aspected by Saturn. Right? Bitter, bitterer, bitterest. Right? Saturn is again aspecting the moon here, making him sensitive. Saturn is aspecting the moon in the 4th house. Saturn is the 9th lord of this horoscope. 4th house represents property. Clear? When he came to me, I asked him whether family property had become his obsession. So please try to remember, Rahu is obsession, mental fixation. The 5th lord and the 12th, he came to USA, and at a time when in India we did not have many electronic engineers, he acquired a very big degree from USA and came to India. I am talking of the year 1979, when a well-qualified electronic engineer in India had no opportunity of getting a big job. A very well qualified. Could be from MIT or Stanford University or some such university. He came to India. And when he met me, I said, your fortune is in a foreign country, not in India. It should be clear to you. 11th lord and the 12th, exchange between the 9th and the 10th lord, right? And see this axis. 11th and the 12th lord together, but Saturn again aspecting Mars, making him sensitive. Now when he is aspecting Mars, what is happening? Aspecting Moon, what is happening? He has become sensitive about this area. The second is money, 4th is property. Mars is the 11th lord. Please remember that. He developed a tremendous grudge against his own elder sister. When he came to me, I told him that his horoscope did not promise much of an inheritance. He would be better off if he went away from India and made a career. So finally he came, his wife came, his son came, his daughter came. All are very well employed in USA, all 4 of them. But so long as he was in India, he was fighting a losing battle against his own sister for property from his father. Now again examine the 5th house. The 5th lord and the 6th lord, right? Aggravation. You have seen the earlier case where I showed you 6th lord aspecting the 5th house. Mental aggravation, right?
And the fact that Rahu's in the 6th makes it even worse.
Yes.
It carries the influence of Rahu as well.
Yes, and Rahu aspected a Mars. 5th lord, so aggravation. And the aggravation was so terrible, if I had not driven him out of India, he might have died of heart attack. He did develop heart trouble. So when you are doing psychological counseling, please examine Rahu very carefully.
Is exchange between his 9th and 10th?
That is Raj Yoga, he got high position.
I mean, it would seem like that would have a lot of benefits. When you talk about his inheritance not being good in India, are you mainly looking at the 8th lord?
Naturally. Then we examine other details. But I am just giving you an instance here. Okay? Having seen this, now I will go back to the book of Shivraj Sharma and show you how you should look at Rahu. Please open page 6. some of the books available to you in English and many of the books not available to you in English. I talked about it. One of the books not available to you in English is a book known as Mansagari. It has been the mainstay of predictions of many North Indian astrologers. Now, what classics say about Rahu? I'll read out and illustrate from my memory the points that strike me. Don't take these things literally. First, remember that. I started by telling you literal, Shabdarth, Bhavarth, Laksharth. Here only Shabdarth has been given. But I always take the precaution of putting a note below somewhere so that you remember I am giving a warning right here. Don't jump to a conclusion after reading this. Rahu in the first house generally does not give good results but gives courage to undertake any work. He has bloodshot eyes and gives inclinations for violence. Note, it has been observed that streaks of unorthodoxy associated with Rahu gives courage to be a non-conformist. I edited the book. So therefore I said you have to put a note right here. When Rahu is in Lagna, it is making you unorthodox. Rahu is a planet of unorthodoxy, which you said in the beginning. Right? Rahu is a snake. Okay. Rahu is Lord Varaha, God. Now take all those principles first given. Second, good in financial sense but not good for other purposes. One may live but in the houses of people of different racial, ethnic or caste background. The word low caste is a wooden translation in modern context. Many Indians will translate and say Mlecha low caste. Now low caste has no meaning for USA. You don't have caste system. You don't have Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So when Indians are translating it to English and they say low caste, you say what does it mean? So instead of that you say different ethnic, racial background. Now you understand at once. So Rahu is representing a non-conformist. Rahu is representing a background other than your background. Inclination to indulge in thieving and meat eating. Now that is a very significant thing. Second house is the house of eating. Second house is the house of earning money. If Rahu is there, badly placed, it can lead to a tendency to thieving. Note, the word low caste used in translation should be expanded meaning. Should be given expanded meaning. It has been observed that Rahu in the second house gives interrupted, never continuous flow of money. I'll show you a horoscope. Blank horoscope, forms are there? Okay. I will need some more. Tomorrow you will draw more and keep for me. This will do for you. This person earned by Indian standards tremendous lot of money in the Dasha of Rahu. In the second house, aspected by Saturn from the 12th house, aspected by Mars from the 8th house, aspected by the Sun from the 8th house. What was the quality of his earning?
Probably illegal drugs, smuggling drugs.
Something equivalent to that in the Indian context. Right? Just as the Jupiter Rahu period was ending and Jupiter period beginning, he came to me. He came to know me, he came to me for astrology. I warned him that as soon as the Rahu period would be coming to an end, Jupiter period starting, he would lose in the Jupiter period a lot of money. Why would he lose lot of money in Jupiter period?
He got religious.
No, I got caught.
Now, toward the end, Shivraj Sharma has given, you will please read the chapter at home. I will just cover it theoretically for you today. Page 124, Rahu's role in psychological evolution. Right? You need not read it, I will explain to you in a very simple way. Just imagine you are born in the Dasha of the Sun, suppose. In ancient times, the Mahadasha, Vinshotri, Mahadasha, these things always used to start from Kritika, that is the nakshatra of the Sun. Take that as the starting point. Sun represents father. 6 years. Then comes the moon, represents mother. 10 years. 16 years, the total parental influence is there on you. If you take the normal evolution, 16 years till you have reached the middle of your teenage. Then after you have reached the middle of your teenage, what is happening? Now you have reached, let us say, Mars. Mars is the planet of courage. It is in teenage only that you do maximum mischief. Jumping, shouting, playing, hurting, killing, sports, so many things. So Mars is a young man, courageous.
Influence of brothers.
Pardon?
It could be the influence of brothers. on
Yes,
brothers.
influence of brothers. The Mars period is followed by that of Rahu. Mars has taught you lessons in courage, courageous action. And having succeeded, you have developed a wrong tendency of taking things for granted, acting impulsively. So Rahu now prompts you to take impulsive actions. Right? In your psychological evolution, Rahu Dasha is a very significant period because it is showing you how you are evolving. So Rahu, before he finishing his Dasha, will invariably give you some mighty good knocks on the head. Paving the way for Jupiter to step in and give you wisdom. Okay? In your psychological evolution, Rahu is paving the way for Jupiter so that you begin to accept Jupiter now. A man becomes wise only after he gets knocks. A person who has been very unfortunate not to have enough knocks in life is very unfortunate because he can never grow wise. Every wise man is a man who has suffered. Now Jupiter comes and gives you wisdom. Jupiter Dasha is followed by that of Saturn. Saturn gives you detachment. I'll stop and you tell me. Saturn gives you detachment. We can continue for 15 minutes more, okay? Then I'll continue tomorrow. You will kindly read the book slightly here and there because I'll skip over from here and there. I'll give instance from here, instance from there. I can give lots of instances from my memory also. Now, Jupiter is giving you wisdom. After Jupiter has given you wisdom, now you know that in life you cannot move in all companies. There are certain type of people whom you must avoid, certain types of companies which are not good for you. When you begin to grow in wisdom, the first lesson you learn is the art of detachment. Certain companies you begin to avoid, and Saturn is the planet for detachment in a spiritual sense also. Wisdom, jnana, followed by detachment. Saturn. Now Saturn has a very positive role on the spiritual side. Then comes the dasha of Mercury. Mercury is giving you the wisdom given by Jupiter and the detachment given by Saturn gets combined into distilled wisdom given by Mercury. That's why Mercury is Lord Vishnu. Now this distilled wisdom leads to proper spiritual deeds, therefore comes Ketu and gives you salvation. So Vinshotri Dasha is a Dasha of psychological evolution. Try to understand that. Now when Venus comes, as a result of all these achievements, Venus can come and give you a lot of pleasures and enjoyments, or can give you siddhis. Siddhi, supernormal powers. And if you are not distracted by those siddhis, it's okay. If you are distracted, then you want to go and get admiration in the world and get stuck in the cycle of births and rebirths, and you have another birth. Venus can be a very good planet, but can be a very distracting planet, because Venus will get you a lot of adoration. And the easiest way of spoiling a person is when a man is flattered by a woman and a woman is flattered by a man, that is the doom. Very easy. When woman praises another woman, she doesn't get flattered easily. When a male praises another male, he doesn't get flattered easily. But when a woman praises the male ego is flattered, and the reverse also is true. So in the Venus periods, you have to be careful in psychological evolution, whether the man is being misled by a wrong type of praise. I know many gurus who have ruined their reputations in the Venus periods. Many gurus, after attaining good spiritual state,
Is it sort of implied that you have like a really bad place Venus?
pardon?
Is it sort of implied from what you said you have like a really bad place Venus?
Yes.
About lots of Olympics that sort of like the opposite, no praise at all. Like
Yes, correct.
I've seen people in that situation where they're being treated. It's awful.
It can be. But let me conclude optimistically so that you don't go back with a bad impression about Rahu. Right? You can have a terribly bad impression about Rahu. I'll put here and write so that my hand doesn't burn. Now see this horoscope. Whose is this? And I need not tell you who Kennedy was. He achieved whatever he had to achieve in Rahu Dasha. Very few people in the world had such an extraordinarily good Rahu Dasha as he had. Now see, Rahu is totally untainted in this horoscope. No aspects. In the Kendra, in the house of Jupiter, one of the principles given in Uttar Kalamrita, a book, is Jupiter, Rahu in the houses of Jupiter and Mercury will generally be good, which means Rahu in dual Rashis will be good. Dual signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. In this case, Rahu is in Kendra, so he is acting like a Kendra lord. I'll come to some more important point of in political astrology. You remind me, I'll come to that point if I forget. Who is the dispositor of Rahu here? Where is Jupiter? In the 9th house of luck, with the 9th lord of luck, with sun of political dignity, aristocracy, right? Rahu gave him whatever he wanted in life. He died in 1963 November in Jupiter Saturn. As soon as Jupiter Saturn started, he was shot dead. Deduct 3 years roughly from 1963. Roughly. We come to 60. In 60, his Rahu Dasha ended. Deduct 18 years from 60. 1942. When the Rahu period started, he was in World War II and he became a war hero. You know that? In my latest edition of Astrology, Destiny and Wheel of Time, announced also by Passage Press being brought out here, I have given combinations for political power. And I started with the horoscope of an Indian politician and also Kennedy's horoscope. Rahu in the 4th house, in the house of Jupiter, in a dual sign. Its dispositor is in the 9th house with the sun. Jupiter and sun represent dignitary, high dignity. It is happening in the 9th house. His father was also American ambassador to England. 4th house is the property. In the 9th house, the father made trusts in the name of all his 9 children. $1 million trust for all children. Jupiter is in the 4th house. In Jupiter's Dasha, he became a war hero. And in USA, where you believe in high publicity straight away, to come into limelight, it was so well publicized systematically that when he returned from the war, he had become a hero already. His political future was assured. All this was given by Rahu. Rahu is the planet of courage. Kennedy had a tremendous courage to go and save, rescue, you know that, in wartime, a whole crew from German army. For that heroic act, he got tremendous praise, a medal, but he came back with a spinal injury, which was a lifelong companion. No one could cure him of that injury. In the Rahu period, whatever the Dasha, he defeated Henry Cabot Lodge. I don't know how many of you Americans remember Henry Cabot Lodge. Right?
Famous family.
A very famous senator. To defeat him was in itself a big achievement. Remember, Rahu is in the 4th house. In classical astrology, 4th house you see for mother, you know that. You see for a house, you know that. In the case of a politician, the 4th house should be seen for a seat in the Senate or the House of Representatives in USA. You get elected to a post. In the case of a monarchy, it is the throne. The throne. Right? The 4th house is the throne. In the Rahu Dasha, Kennedy got a throne to sit on. And what was that throne? You answer? Pardon? Correct. Is presidency a throne or not? The topmost position of the country. Rahu gave him that. So we can conclude, please go to sleep comfortably. Rahu gave Kennedy so much. So Rahu is not all the time doing brain poisoning. It is also giving you something great. Then tomorrow I will give you contrasting instance. This, that, and show you what Rahu Dasha can do. Right?
Also, what Jupiter's doing.
Yes.
Prior church, Jupiter was losing what he got.
Now you please see the scheme in the book. You'll just go through and see. You find so many things given. Now I'll go to the last one. What the classics say, go to page 6. Third house. Rahu in the 3rd house promotes happiness, is good for valor, but siblings may die, not survive. Note 1. It has been observed that Rahu in the 3rd house makes one either the youngest or the eldest of siblings or in its own sex. Is it so in any case here? Rahu in the 3rd will either make you the eldest or the youngest or eldest or the youngest in your own sex. Generally it has been observed. Pardon? See some instances later that will be given. Note 2. If Rahu in the 3rd house is with other planets, this rule should not be applied. 4th. Generally not good here. Some interesting predictive hints are given here. A. The native may live in a house constructed away from the place of one's native land. These days it will mean in a house away from the place of one's birth. Rahu takes you away from your native land. 4th house. B. Such Rahu with another malefic may leave proofreading mistakes, may force you to live in a foreign country. 2 malefics in the 4th house. Rahu and some other malefic. See illustrations. May have only one daughter. Note, Rahu in the 4th has been seen to give at least one daughter. Pardon?
I have one daughter. I have Rahu in the 4th.
You are Rahu in the 4th. Now these are all our fundamental research. You are talking about Manikya, Jain, etc. He has lifted from here and there. These are all research is tested in the classroom. Rahu in the 4th has to give you at least one daughter. Right? 1.
I have one instance that I noticed that what you say here in the 3rd of Rahu, it can make you the eldest or the youngest, and you have that same comment on the 11th.
Yes, correct.
I've got it in the 11th and I'm the oldest of 7.
You are the eldest.
Yeah.
Right? Correct. What I am giving you is now from tradition. Please try to understand. our researches. This is what you will not get in any books. Now this is very interesting. His wife may be slim. I don't know. In this case, in the case of a woman, say husband, slim. I don't know. A strange principle which needs observing. We will honestly put there. You observe it, we do not know. But I have given you the material from there, but we will not give you a single point without our comment. Otherwise, you will get stuck with a wooden translation. We will not do that. Fifth house, not good. Rahu and Moon here show the death of a son after birth. Rahu, Moon, together in the fifth house. It's a very brilliant combination given. Rarely I have seen this failing. Something happens, the son may die in an accident. The son may have illness. He may become owner of others' houses. Only one son may live and that too handicapped. Okay? Only one son may live and that too handicapped. See this case. Rahu in the fifth house. Right? His first son is born with a hole in the heart. And the second son has developed a terrible inferiority complex because though he is a young man of 25 years, he has no beard. The whole of this is like a woman's one. He grows no hair. So all his friends tease him. He does not move out of the house. So Rahu in the fifth house has given handicap to both children. One is having a hole in the heart, the other has no beard.
So he doesn't have to shave.
Yes, doesn't have to shave, but his friends don't spare him. Sixth house destroys enemies. That is very good. Indira Gandhi, the famous Prime Minister of India. I will make use of the red one. This is her ascendant and Rahu is here. Sixth house. Destroys enemies. Now I will ask you a question. In classical Vedic astrology, they say, if Mercury is in your ascendant, it will destroy 1000 evils or defects in your horoscope. If Venus is in the ascendant, it will destroy 10,000. And if Jupiter is in the ascendant, it will destroy 1 lakh, which means 100,000 defects. One chap, one boy, had Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, all the three in the ascendant. He was not at all doing well. His mother asked me, you astrologers keep on saying all this, and here is my son doing so badly in life. And in Indian mother, is very anxious. The Indian parents are very doting, so they can make their children total imbeciles. In USA, when you give too much initiative, the children may go astray. Both are disbalanced societies. In India, the extreme imbecility and here too much of initiative. Both are wrong. There should be some balance somewhere. There should be the affectionate guidance of parents available, and there should be the initiative also to be taken by children. In India, anyway, that society is evolving like that now. But when we were young, there is no question of my taking any initiative. My parents would take all decisions about us. We were brought up in such a society. Okay. So the mother said, well, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury in the ascendant, and the child is not at all doing well. What is this astrology? I said, astrology never goes wrong. This child is bound to do well. The mother said, when? I said, look here. No planet is a non-functionary. Any planet in your horoscope placed in some place has to function, has to fulfill a function. You say Mercury destroys 1000 defects, Venus 10,000, Jupiter 100,000. So unless your sun cultivates 110,000 mistakes, these planets cannot become effective. The mother said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, what I mean by that, it doesn't matter, let him fail. You will see how well he will do. He has done very well in life. But throughout the student career, he was doing badly. Once the Dasha underwent a change, everything changed brilliantly for him. So, Rahu in the 6th house will mean what? Now come to this. Rahu in the 6th destroys enemies. So, a person with Rahu in the 6th will rarely be without enemies, therefore. Right? Rahu will become a non-functionary. Rahu has to be in the 6th to destroy. So, there must be enemies to be destroyed. Who, however, get vanquished. 7th house. Not good. Loss of wealth. Extramarital relations. If many planets, then his spouse will be harsh and ill-behaved. No comments by me, I am a bachelor. Note 1. The aspect of Jupiter on such Rahu gives excellent married life. Note 2. Rahu in the 7th house is a generally well-known factor for unorthodox marriage or unorthodox relationship or extramarital relationship. Yet, it should not be overemphasized, as it more often than not gives business partners with different racial or national background. That is how you have to look at it in modern terms. 8th house. Good only for financial matters, otherwise unfavorable. Thieving tendency, defamed, and is generally aggrieved. Note, it can disturb marital life, give esoteric experiences, that is spiritual side, and create some complications in the region between thighs for medical astrology. 9th house is bad, quarrelsome, does lowly acts, unlucky, fear of enemies. Note, it has been found to be bad. It promotes some unorthodoxy, gives foreign travels invariably, particularly if in Cancer. In Chara Rashis, such travel starts very early in life, in Sthira Rashis late, and in the Swabhava Rashis spasmodically. 10th house. Good, but makes a person sensual, unlucky, takes initiative, and does some spiritual thinking, fickle-minded and cruel. Note, if aspected by malefics, one can become very egotistical. Now this is very important. Rahu in the 10th house of Karmasthana, aspected by malefic, can make the person very haughty. Note, people with Rahu in the 10th house have to be careful about their jobs if the 10th house is not in a happy position. Their dispositor. One such person with the 10th lord debilitated, Libra ascendant, therefore the 10th lord is the moon. Moon in Scorpio is debilitated, right? And Rahu in the 10th house, aspected by Saturn, was caught embezzling money. He was nearly dismissed from his job, but he escaped by resigning early. Note, persons with Rahu in the 10th house generally have more sons is our observation. Rahu in the 4th, we have told you about daughters. Rahu in the 10th has given more sons. That's what we have observed. 11th is good. He is skilled in the use of weapons. Note, in modern times it can apply to surgeons and doctors. B. The native is beautiful and kind-hearted. Note, beauty should be seen with reference to other factors. Kind-heartedness should be examined along with the happy condition of the 4th house and its lord. C. Lives in a foreign country. Note, he lives in a place away from the birthplace. D. May not have a son or happiness from a son. Note, it is the 8th house from the 5th house. 7th house from the 5th house. Sorry, correct it. It applies to the first child. It has been observed, a son born after does not suffer. Please correct it. It is the 7th house. Can be the eldest or the youngest of siblings or in its own sex. Now you have seen the 3rd, you have seen the 11th.
Mine's in the 11th, and I'm the oldest.
Eldest.
I'm the oldest of 7 kids.
Eldest of the 7 kids. Okay.
But it's interesting, almost everything you say here is true. Like skilled in use of weapons. I was a lieutenant in the Army in the infantry. I never really went to war, but I was skilled in use of weapons.
Were you a sharpshooter?
I wasn't a sharpshooter, but I was pretty good. And I'd say I'm pretty kind-hearted. I've lived in foreign countries before, but not for very long, just for teamwork. But I was in India for 4 months. So all these things are true.
Now you see, this is from a text which is not available to in English.
And I don't have any sons either. I don't have any kids.
Pardon?
I don't have any sons or any kids either. That's true.
That's also true. Very good. 12th house, not favorable. Religion, money, wife, desert him. Note, it is an extreme statement. Please remember I told you translations are wooden and stupid. Therefore, I will not allow anyone to write exactly as it is. I will invariably put a note there. Note, it's an extreme statement. There is defect in nails. Note, here the 12th and house and Rahu have been used for nails. That gives an indication. Nails, Nails, nails.
I didn't know if that was a metaphor or is that
For nails, which can be a valuable piece of research for medical astrology. I asked you to note it. Lives in a foreign country. Note, away from the place of one's birth, as in the case of Rahu in the 4th house, seems very certain. What classics say about Rahu, based on Mansagri, etc. continuing. From the above, it seems that Rahu in 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 and 10 and 11 are generally favorable. In other houses, 4, 5, 7, 9 and 12, it is not favorable.
This is modified on page 12 by special positions for Rahu and Gemini or Virgo. Is that true?
Pardon?
Page 12 says